Colombian criminal gangs have a frightening secret weapon, a drug called scopolamine. This incredibly potent drug causes suggestibility, leaving its consumers in a state resembling hypnosis. The gangs use the drug in form of a powder and blow it at an individual who then unwillingly breathes it in. Under the influence, the drugged person follows instructions they are being given without any protest and are capable of committing numerous crimes, as if they were under a spell. The affected individual will also answer any questions. For instance, reveal their bank account information and similar incriminating data. Once the drug wears off, the victims have no recollection of anything that had happened. The horrifying drug is capable of turning anyone into a victim of dangerous manipulation. Dipped is a one-of-a-kind psychedelic hallucinogenic drug. It differs from others of its kind because while most hallucinogenic substances primarily affect the visual, Dipped has major effect on auditory capacities. The effects are mostly sound-based, and the consequences can be horrific. The side effect of the drug is hearing extremely loud, high-pitched noises, which can repeat themselves inside of your head for up to 3 weeks. Followed around by this excruciating noise, people are known to have been driven completely insane by it. What is particularly worrying in the whole story is that the drug itself isn't actually banned by US federal law. Desperate junkies looking for an easy fix are likely to stumble across the drug, which would leave them imprisoned in a sonic prison days on end. Bromo Dragonfly is a very specific drug, which seems to be quite innocent at the first glance, being 5 times less potent than LSD. However, what's special about this particular drug is the fact that its effect lasts for an incredibly long time. The consumption of the drug causes the user to go into a deep state of trance and have very vivid hallucinations. The hallucinogenic trip lasts approximately 3 entire days. The drug itself is dangerous because it is visually very similar to less potent drugs, and is often mistakenly marketed and sold as some other mainstream drug, which causes the user to overdose. The hallucinogenic episodes the drug induces are so intense and last for such a long time that people tend to break under the pressure. Physically, users often react with vomiting blood, but overdoses are a path to certain death. DMHP was a drug developed as a non-lethal weapon, meant to be used strategically by the military in order to leave the enemies incapable of defending themselves, but with no bloodshed involved. This synthetic drug is based on marijuana, with the plant's yellow oil being its main ingredient. This drug is capable of rendering the consumer completely useless, with the side effects being hysterical laughter and an uncontrollable hunger. The persons affected generally fall into a state of hysteria, which leaves them incapable of rational action or coordination of their bodies in space and time. Yage is a drug that can actually cause mental illness. A blend of the ayahuasca vine and a shrub named chacruna, this drug is used by Colombian tribes during spiritual rituals, consumed during spiritual rites. The natural drug induces vivid hallucinations, which are considered divine visions by the tribespeople, leading the chosen ones into enlightenment. Unfortunately, it can also lead to severe reactions, such as vomiting blood and diarrhea, as well as such intense hallucinatory episodes that the person collapses under the power of the drug, both mentally and physically. Today, many tourists head to Colombia with a desire for spiritual rebirth, but following the traditional journey of the tribes often proves fatal, as the people cannot handle the effects of Yage. Basing their innovative idea on morphine, Russian scientists thought they had discovered the perfect painkiller in the 1930s, but as it turned out, the only thing they discovered was an incredibly strong, highly addictive, and extremely dangerous drug, which is now a deadly product circulating throughout the drug market, dubbed Crocodile, the Russian word for crocodile. The narcotic is preferred by the most hardcore and most desperate drug users, who, aware of the consequences, still choose to get that one last fix. The drug affects the body severely, with the ultimate result being the painful mutation of skin, which leaves the user looking like a creature from cheap horror movies, resembling a deformed reptile. The drug is named after the crocodile, because it is said to rip apart a person's body just as the vicious animal does. Zambia has caused a stir in the world of illegal drug consumption, as it has put a very cheap product out on the streets, and one which has quite satisfying consequences. The name of the drug is Genkem. It's easy to come by, and it causes mild hallucinogenic trips which don't have any major physical or mental side effects. The drug is easy to make and cheap to distribute, because it's made out of human feces. The drug is said to have initially been invented by Zambian children, who would collect feces and urine, cover it with a balloon, let it ferment in the sun, and then breathe in the fumes. Benzo Fury is a drug which is available in pill or powder form. Upon consumption, it takes about an hour to take effect. The consumer will slowly be driven to a state of euphoria, with increased sensitivity to music and feeling overwhelmingly emotional. A variation of tenamphetamin, the drug doesn't sound like anything special, and in its structure, production, and effects, it isn't. It is its distribution which makes it stand out. Benzo Fury is a drug which has clever distributors who have managed to find a hole in legislation. Playing with the law and its inconsistencies has brought this drug out into the open. It's available for purchase on the internet, and it's completely legal. The manufacturers are advertising and selling it quite openly, branding it a research drug. Freon is a name for moderately toxic gases or liquids, which are typically used as refrigerants. The substance has been implicated as one of the major causes of ozone depletion, and is therefore largely evaded in an effort to save the planet from the harmful effects of industry. However, people have discovered an alternative use of Freon, and decided to still keep it around. Namely, the gas can be used as a drug. Inhaling the gas causes dizziness, mild hallucinations, and can potentially render a person unconscious. It has become a popular way to get high, even though it is well known that inhaling it can cause permanent brain damage. Etorphine is one of the most powerful drugs in the world. Its potency is 3,000 times that of morphine and 5,000 times that of heroin. It was artificially created by scientists in order to sedate large animals. 1/100th of a gram can render an elephant weighing 300 kilograms unconscious. A milligram of the substance coming to contact with human skin would be immediately absorbed and do the same to a human in a matter of minutes. It can legally be possessed only by health professionals, used for veterinary purposes in zoos, and for university research purposes.